Welcome to Coffee and a Conversation hosted by CJ Abernathy for South Dakota District 23 Senate 2020. A father, an activist, a Marine Corps combat veteran of Iraq and Afghanistan, Purple Heart recipient with a bachelor's degree in information technology software engineering. CJ is the executive producer for the Adam vs. the Man podcast with Adam Kokesh, and the CEO of Internet Warlords, the War for the Internet, as well as a former 2018 South Dakota Libertarian gubernatorial candidate, and a 2020 South Dakota delegate to the Libertarian National Convention. If you would like to join this broadcast, click the link in the description. Coffee and a Conversation starts now. Have a great day or don't. The choice is always yours.
Nobody knows the troubles I've seen. Nobody knows my sorrows. Good morning, everybody. Well, I should say morning. I don't want to assume the adjective of your day. It's a boring day today. So this is an open discussion. I do have a few little headlines I could pull out of the bag of bullshit and bullshit about it a little bit. You know, the Queen of Meth is ready to host Sturgis. What else? Some celebrity type got raided for some dumb reason, which didn't feel like going over. Miko Hayes did a article or a video last night, 3 hours long, about Save the Children. I've been watching that this morning. And then I figured, all right, well, let's finish watching that later. It's time for me to have coffee and a conversation. So again, link is in the description. And yes, YouTube, I didn't forget you today. Oh man, I mean, we could talk about all the things we want to talk about, but you know, what can I say? Oh, it's just another day. Just another day. I don't even know if this is going to make it for a full hour. Not even. Who knows? Who knows? I challenge anybody, open discussions. You know, I sit here and I talk. Fuck, nothing gets done. So, I mean, we can talk about it if you want. We got the documents now. Oh, I don't even know what to do. Hey, good morning, Matt. How you doing? Oh, so what else is there? Yeah, so I'll just jump right into my first little South Dakota story here, since it seems like the right thing to do. Noam, the Queen of Meth, South Dakota, proud to host Sturgis motorcycle rally. All right. God, this woman, South Dakota Republican Queen of Meth, Governor Kristi Noem, praised the people of her state for working with her administration to both keep the coronavirus largely at bay while preserving the state's economy and blah, 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 blah. Noam told the Ingram Angle, quote, that a dangerous way to potentially lose the country is what? Oh, that's the quote there. Potentially lose the country is for other states' executives to overstep boundaries and restrict universal American freedoms in the name of virus mitigation. Oh, fuck. Man, this woman has no right to talk about freedom at all. People are stupid. You should run for governor, Kristi. You should run for governor. You don't restrict our freedoms. Oh, okay. Hi, you're retarded. My name is CJ. If you're a Christy Noem supporter, congratulations. You're retarded. I don't know if that's something you celebrate these days, but apparently you do. I don't know. We live in a time in today's society where the government, people literally how do you say it? They lick the boot of government. They suck the like I could insert euphemism here. And I mean it's amazing. They always want to carve out their exceptions. Good morning, Mercedes. Don't die on me yet. We still got a world to take over and then leave people alone with. So, it blows my mind. I don't understand people's cognitive dissonance. I don't. I try hard to, give people the benefit of the doubt, let people be people. I'm not perfect, so I don't say you have to be perfect, but man, I just don't understand. So we turn to our good friend Alphabet this morning. Cognitive dissonance.
The state of having inconsistent thoughts, beliefs, or attitudes, especially as relating to behavioral decisions and attitude change.
So it kind of goes like, my thing with the cognitive dissonance here is how quickly a government sycophant, which is another word we could get into if you want to, is so quick and inconsistent to change their thoughts based on what the government says. Hey, you will do this, you will do that, and they just line the fuck up. Oh man, I don't know. This is an open conversation this morning. I've got some peanut butter cup coffee with Snickers creamer. Oh my gosh, it is so good. My brother-in-law hooked me up with some peanut butter cup coffee last night, so yeah. Mercedes says, currently in the comment section of a local Trump-loving bootlicking statist. Oh, those are always fun. So, relating to behaviors and decisions and attitude. So, yesterday, I went on the voluntary option with Peter Yeaple. Great guy. Jim Freedom hosts Peter hosts it, Jim produces it, and just had a great conversation. One of the things that I really truly do believe that if this government came out tomorrow and said the cure for COVID is to lube up your finger and stick a thumb up your butt, we'd see a lot of people walking around with a thumb up their butt. That's cognitive dissonance. That's attitude change. That's in their behavior and decision making. So, sycophant is a whole nother word.
Here's the definition of sycophant: a person who acts obsequiously towards someone important in order to gain advantage.
That is what I call a government sycophant, is a person who acts. Oh man, I love the big words today. We're going to find out this one word, because if I'm sitting here going, maybe if I don't know it. Oh, of course, I need an update. How dumb, man. Let's see here. Definitions. Characterized by showing servile obedience and excessive eagerness to please. Yeah. Obsequious. Let's see how I say that.
Obsequious.
Characterized by showing servile obedience and excessive eagerness to please. Obedient. Ooh, is that dutiful? Yeah, it's dutiful. It's kind of hard to see from here. Obsequious. What a great word to use today. So we got a little string of words here to use. So government. Oh, sycophant. Okay, so government sycophants who are obsequiously obedient to the government that they create. And when I say they, I mean whatever the two-party duopoly wants to say for that day. We wake up every day and it's a new bunch of bullshit. Obsequious. What a great word. He smiled and bowed obsequiously to Winger. When everyone saw the mayor, they bowed obsequiously. He was the only exception. A person who totally obsequiously agrees with everything another person says. Obedience. It's about the obedience and whether or not you're going to lick the boot, don the mask, follow the order. It all comes down to that notion that you don't own yourself, that you're not free. So I don't know, folks. That's why I say in these open discussions, don't obsequiously agree with me in the comments. There's a link in the description. You can join and it'll bring you backstage and you can have a conversation. And if we agree or disagree, it's irrelevant. Just don't be obsequious. What a great word. A lot of you are bootlicking government sycophants, obsequiously walking through this world with your cognitive dissonance, ready to lick the boot of the next police officer that you come in contact with. And because you have a fear of government, which is completely rational. I'll actually give you the rationality of your fear because government has done an incredible job making you afraid. The government has done an incredible job showing you that they can kill anybody they want. So, of course, you're going to have a portion of the population that's going to say, well, if I suck this tyrant's dick, maybe the tyrant won't behead me. Maybe the tyrant will let me live just a little bit. Just leave me alone in my living room. I don't care if you tell me to put on a mask to go to the park. Just leave me alone in my living room. Yeah. And I wonder why I get censored. or the evangelical Christians are like, oh, CJ, we tune in, we tune out. Well, of course you do. You couldn't handle my level of conversation. You couldn't handle this level of thinking because you're obedient. Dare I say, I don't know. I want to use a different word, but obsequiously is such a great word. You're obsequious. What a great word. CJ called me obsequious today. So offended. Oh. Obedient and attentive to an excessive or servile degree. That's what Google's got for. But again, what is obsequious behavior? Subservient, servile, slavish. Obsequious means showing or characterized by extreme compliance or abject obedience. This is again 90% of the people you see out there, if not more. Subservient implies the cringing manner of one very conscious of a subordinate position. Domestic help was expected to be properly subservient. Servile suggests the mean of fawning behavior of a slave. Don't you hate how good I am at what I do? I mean, honestly, I bet you there's people out there that are like, fuck, man, CJ's annoying, but god damn it, he's right. He calls us all slaves, and then he walks us down using the dictionary on how the behavior is the actual words used for keeping a slave a good slave. I hate it. You know me, I'm like, proud to be an American, where at least I know I'm free. But we're not free. And a lot of people are you know, making my points. Listen, if you hate me, if you're like, fuck CJ, you know, like, God damn it, asshole has an ego. He thinks he's right all the time, blah, 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 blah. If you really think that way about me, first off, I advise you to click the link, join the description, and tell it to my face. Most of you sycophant, you know, you sycophant, boot-licking, cowardice, Republican, Democrat, duopoly, socialist, you know, same party bullshit. Can't actually click the link and defend your fucking pedo presidents. It's really weird. I honestly, it's like the way Joe Jorgensen's treated. You know, it's clear that people are afraid to acknowledge her existence because then they have to acknowledge, like, holy shit, dude, she's like not rapey. She has zero allegations. By the way, the $100 contest is still out there. If you can find a legitimate claim that Joe Jorgensen has committed some form of sexual impropriety, you get $100 from me, PayPal'd right to you the moment you find it. But you can't. So it's almost like, you know, they watch my broadcast. I'd have to say these I don't even know what you call them. What do you call somebody who's just like, I mean, it doesn't matter if they're Republican or Democrat, but they want government, you know, like they want government. Like there's that line that says, well, CJ, the government does rape and murder and pillage and bomb and destroy and, you know, totally make the dollars of each country worthless and, you know, doesn't, I mean, all these horrible things that I could just spend hours just talking about the government and what it actually does and is. But what do you call somebody that knows all this or hears all this or is confronted with all this and still choose to go, nah, better my guy in charge than that guy? How do you justify that? How do you justify it? You know, what like, man, some of these Trump supporters would be the same people ready to throw somebody off the fucking cliff if they were even an alleged abuser. They would throw him off the fucking cliff. You see it all the time. But your boy Trump gets accused of one fucking thing, and no. And it really blows my mind. So it comes down to behavior. And I believe you have the behavior of a slave. And we have a word for that. All right? We have a word for it. Obsequious. It's a lovely word, and we can use it today to define the obsequious slave behavior of the subservient, servile slave to government. It sucks when you know language and you have a vocabulary and you can retain incredible information and then walk down that dictionary and go, this word right here, what is this? Oh, we can further go down the dictionary. Oh, what does this mean right here? Oh, it means you're a slave. Congratulations, America, land that I love. Oh, is that Canada? Oh shit! It's like I said, dumb news day. Sturgis, I think Trump said something about he doesn't know Epstein from Joe Blow, and the whole narrative again from going back to pedophiles running our government, since that's really the big story that everyone's like, did you hear about the Curiosity rover? And I'm like, yeah, but your favorite politician's fucking kids. Like, it's like, yeah, that's there's a bigger story here. That's a bigger story here. Oh man, Matt's got a good one here. Did you see that Fox News lady? Nope, I sure didn't. Saying let Joe in the debates. No, I sure didn't, Matt. The fact that Fox News has even acknowledged the existence of Joe Jorgensen is a pretty incredible feat. If it's actually recorded, I think that'd be probably the first time on Fox News that the name Joe Jorgensen has actually been used. So, man, I'll tell you what. I'll tell you what. Maybe we can get Mercedes on that real quick and see if she can find the historic moment where the right side of your brain is introduced to Jo Jorgensen publicly. So, ladies and gentlemen, she is running for the 37th district in one of the districts in Nebraska. I don't know. I mean, maybe she should just run for all of them. Who knows? We could use a little bit more Mercedes in our lives, ladies and gentlemen.
Okay.
Mercedes. How are you
Okay, that's a fun thing. Okay, so I found the clip. It says Kennedy says let Jo Jorgensen into the debates.
doing? Okay, hold on.
I have it.
Kennedy says let Jo Jorgensen into the
It
debates.
says it. I have the YouTube clip even. It's even right here.
Oh, no, I got you already.
You got it? Yeah, that's the one I have.
Let Jo Jorgensen into the debate. She's running on the Libertarian ticket. She's got a completely different worldview than either the men or women in the party. We need her for liberation reasons. We need to break the duopoly. So let her speak.
Dang! Ow!
Sorry.
Dang, Mercedes.
Well, I mean, you deserve to have your ear broke when Fox News says George Jorgensen should be on the debate page.
No. I agree with you. This is a moment we should be celebrating as libertarians that her name has finally been said on the pro-propaganda, machine site. So.
Well, and I think that's why. So we in the oh my god, okay, we're libertarians. We know things. I think that's why she's been. I know. That's why she's been doing her campaign the way. What happened to me? Oh, my camera was unplugged.
I guess I don't know.
You don't need to see me right now. It's fine.
Okay.
I feel like she's been running her campaign the way she has so that she could get on Fox News because I feel like she feels like that's the only way she can get on there.
Well, and that's the other thing. Okay, so we're the obsequious Fox viewers are going to hear the name Jo Jorgensen for the first time if they are a viewer of Kennedy here.
And that was on August 5th. That was yesterday.
Yeah, no. So, I mean, that means that today a lot of Trumpophiles, are going to wake up and they're going to have to figure out who this Jo Jorgensen lady is, and we're going to watch the cognitive dissonance of these obsequious slaves to government have to deal with the fact that there's a woman that's way more qualified than either of these two men that's running for president of the United States. I mean, straight up, it's an opportunity for her to get the name recognition, and that's about it. I mean, how many Fox News voters are going to go from Sean Hannity saying the only way to save the constitutional republic is for us to vote in for the Orange Messiah? And by the way, sir, would you like me to push my head down just a little bit for you? Well, maybe I'll just take a look at this Jo Jorgensen lady. And I always preface this with this. Hi, cognitively dissonant, obsequious mental slaves to the Trump administration. Her name is Jo Jorgensen. She is way more qualified than Donald Trump to be president of the United States. She went through way more vetting than anybody else in this year to become the nominee for any party. And zero allegations of sexual impropriety is a pretty big plus. So if you're just tuning into the broadcast for the first time and you're like, who's this woman and this guy that are talking bad about my boy Trump? And don't you know where we go one, we go all? You show up in my comment thread as one on my screen, but I don't see all of you idiots. Anyways, that's a Q attack.
What did I just miss?
Yeah, that was a Q attack right over your head. Now,
it's fine.
You're waking up this morning. You've heard Jo Jorgensen's name for the first time on Fox News. You just got done doing a whole beat session to Q theories and reading the Q boards. And again, where you go one, you don't go all, because I don't see you here, But anyways, I challenge you to make my views actually prove that you go one, you go all. You don't. I challenge you to actually comment and fill up my studio with a bunch of Q-tards.
I want him to get on and comment on the screen and talk to us.
Yeah, like I want to hear the mental brain noodle thoughts of a Trumpophile, obsequious sycophant.
He just wants our borders to be closed. He wants the American way to come back fresh as it ever was. He wants women to be barefoot in the kitchen like good old days.
Whoa, hold up. I want to be barefoot in the kitchen like the good old days.
Okay, you could do that. My husband does that.
Okay, so why is it so bad for women? I mean, men are like, holy shit, we can be in the kitchen barefoot and pregnant? Like, whoa.
It's only bad when you're subjugated to it, when you don't have a choice about the matter.
Consent, gotcha.
It's all about consent.
Yeah. God dang it.
No more clubbing and hair dragging to the cave. I'm sorry. But if you want to be in the kitchen, I'm all about equality. My husband is a stay-at-home dad right now so that I can focus on all of this. And I'm loving this progressiveness.
Yeah, I'm all about equality too. I think women should be equally able to get shot in combat.
I agree.
Even though we shouldn't have
combat
to begin with.
I support, so I don't support the draft because that's stupid.
I support the draft for equality for the draft, but I don't support the draft in general.
Yeah, that's what I was getting at. I support equality in the draft. If men are getting drafted, women should too. But the whole draft shouldn't even exist.
Yeah, speaking as a veteran, I can tell you that the draft would be the most heinous thing to ever happen to our military. Ever.
Again.
I mean, okay, but I'm saying in today's modern world, oh my God, you'd be blending men and women from all across the country with different political and socioeconomic beliefs against their consent to serve in some future war.
Honestly though, okay, if I hate that I'm going down this thought train, but if daddy government just beat them up enough, then they'll hate the government and love each other. I mean, it's not happening now, but you think that maybe.
Mercedes, your mic is like the most powerful thing I've ever heard in my earballs.
How's this? Is that better?
Yeah, you should probably put it in the kitchen and I'll still hear you.
It's actually about 3 feet away right now.
Yeah, see, I can keep mine right about here, talk like this, and I mean, I don't want to blow your eardrums out. But here we are again, another day.
I turn my headphones down when you're loud.
Oh yeah, okay, gotcha. So no, hey, if you're just tuning in, again, this is Mercedes. My name is CJ. There's a link in the description. You can join this broadcast, and if you're a Trumpophile, if you're somebody that votes for Donald Trump, listen, we want to hear from you. If you're voting for Joe Biden, we want to hear from you. Honestly, I want to talk to a Republican, a Democrat. I want to hear your cognitive dissonance live for my own ears on why you're saying, well, we need government, CJ. We need my roads. We need my, you're, what is stopping you from realizing the truth about the crimes the government commits against the people? We got Mercedes here, who is a post-World War II stenographer in another life.
I probably, honestly.
Yeah. You got one of them clacky keyboards.
I do. My husband got it. I can't believe you can hear that. This is 4 foot away from the mic.
No, that's what they do, those clacky keyboards.
Yeah, so my husband was looking for, so when we decided to create our battle station, that's what we call it. I'm in his office and his man cave that we share because I need to do things on the internet.
Yeah, no, I know how that goes.
Yeah. So, I have 3 monitors plus my laptop, and then he was looking for keyboards because he's hard on his keyboards. And he's like, well, what should we get? And I'm like,
I'm mechanical.
Get one that types. I want to hear it. I want to click, 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 click. And so it doesn't have the extra keypad for the number keypad.
Yeah, no, I hear you. I'm on the opposite mindset. I like mine to be quiet, so I'm not sitting here up at 11:30 at night. Clack, clack, clack. Hey, if you're out there and you're watching and you know somebody that's a Trumpophile.
I actually just messaged somebody too.
Okay, so Mercedes is already on it. See,
But if you want to come on, I doubt he'll come on because I've already been in his comment section this morning.
Right, but here's what I'm saying. Listen, if you're a Trumpophile, if you're somebody who's like loyal, obedient bitch to the president, and you can't actually think for yourself, I want to hear from you today. I want to hear from you. I want you live on my broadcast. I want you to rep your pedophile president to the fullest. I want you to talk to me about why he is the best thing for America when I can show you somebody that's way more qualified, way better of a human being. And at the end of the day, we can have that conversation and I can expose your obsequious, subservient, bootlicking, sycophant behavior.
I'm now sharing this link in.
I'm challenging anybody. Listen, if you're watching this, I want you to share it with your favorite Trumpophile.
Oh, I'm doing it right now.
I want you to be like, I want you to find the guy who's like, I would leave the revolution, CJ, for Donald J. Trump. I want to hear that guy. I want him to be the most meathead for Donald Trump. I want the guy who's like, I wave the Trump flag proudly. I want somebody on this broadcast that would suck the dick of Donald Trump proudly and brag about it.
I love you so
I want somebody
much.
I want somebody that'll stand there
So
and tell me that Donald J. Trump is just, he's draining the swamp, bro. I want to hear it. I want you to come into my studio here. I want you to say it to my ears. I want to hear it. I need to hear it. I'm desperately begging you to click the link this morning if you're a government Trumpophile sycophant, obsequious to the government. Most of you don't even know what them words mean, CJ. Oh, I know.
Literally, Spike Cohen just messaged the group chat I'm in.
Oh, well, literally, Spike Cohen is going to be interviewed on Adam versus the Man on Friday.
Oh, literally, Spike Cohen is the best.
Well, yeah, literally, Spike Cohen. In fact, you know what? Here's actually, I think I can do it on the computer. No, I can't do it on the computer. But Spike Cohen, who was it? It was Greg, I believe. I believe it was Greg, our vice chairman for the Libertarian Party of South Dakota, tagged me in something this morning.
The legislative session just started.
Oh, Mercedes, I've been watching some of your highlight clips from that too, by the way. That was me last year. That was me last year where you sit there and you watch them and you go, how the, what the, why the, and you're like losing your, like, you can feel your brain and like you can feel the cells of your brain just ripping apart. And I mean, I can't do it, man. I watched last year and there were some people that were pretty decent that, they were like, all right, well, this bill exposes this crime that the government's committing if they pass it. And I was like, well, shit, at least one of you is out there saying that we shouldn't pass laws that are against the Constitution.
And ours right now is they're trying to pass that unconstitutional abortion ban that all the Republicans have been trying to push through in their state, that the Supreme Court even this year goes, no, stop, that's unconstitutional. Like Kennedy, the most conservative Supreme Court ever in American history right now is upholding this abortion ban is unconstitutional, and our state's trying to do it. And on the floor, we have senators going, we can't do this. It's unconstitutional. We can't do this. The Supreme Court, not even a few months ago, said we can't do this. Like, why are you trying to do this? Oh, it's an election year. You want that money. They're saying that on the floor. So, like,
yeah, and it makes you go, and so at some point you realize what it is. It's a giant racketeering scam, and it is what it is. So Greg had tagged me in a post. I can't find it now to save my life, but it was me in a picture with Spike Cohen, and we were about to leave the convention, and I got one more picture with Spike there, and Spike is the only saving grace that Dr. Jorgensen has when it comes to some policy arguments, though. I'll tell you that much. she's disappointed a few people. I'm wearing her shirt proudly today, and I'm telling you, with all due respect, ma'am, you got to get better at the family law conversation. Your team needs to get better at you being consistent, keeping your interviews, and that's really the only two constructive criticism points I have. But I mean,
They're
on
just
I mean, there's some other points that people have brought to me, and I'm like, yeah,
no.
but at least they're not coming to me like, hey, CJ, back in the '90s, she used to be friends with pedophiles and rape children. Like, holy shit, man! Like,
If anything, she was the lady talking to them about their problems, and then they spill the beans, and then she's like, "Oh,
I hear
let's
you.
talk about that."
I hear you. So yeah, no, and hey, Mercedes, I'm gonna bring this up because I know I tagged you in it, but what's up with your hero from the Supreme Court, man? You want to talk about the age of consent laws that she was pushing for in the '80s?
What, RBG?
Yeah, let's hear how awesome.
What about
she is.
wait? What about consent laws in the 80s?
I think it was the '80s. I think it was the
Because the
80s or
80s
'70s.
were a wild time.
Whoa! Don't excuse it.
No, I'm not excusing it. I'm saying that if you look, one, it's first and foremost. No Supreme Court justice should have a lifetime appointment to one of the most important things in the world because things change and their ideas need to change and it's bad.
Is that what I sound like when I do that to the mic? Ruth
In my
Bader
ear.
Ginsburg,
That's why
age of consent laws.
Okay, so I'm going to say that she's really old anyway, and part of the systemic problem because she's been there for so many years anyway.
Hold on. The lies they tell about lie number one. Okay, hold on. They say that the age of consent reduced should be 12. No, Ruth Bader Ginsburg never advocated lowering the age of consent to 12. A source, a 1974 report entitled "The Legal Status of Women Under Federal Law." Let's see here. The United States may a person consent to intercourse with an adult until the age of 16. So let's see. 1974 report co-op. I'm not going to read Snopes. But again, so there's a few websites that'll say that she claims that the statutory rape law should be changed from 16 to 12. And, it's been reported in some places to hear some Republicans tell it, letting Ruth Bader Ginsburg onto the Supreme Court said the age of consent for sexual activity for women should be 12. So it's a Republican push thing. So, I mean, that's one side saying the other side.
We'll have to look into it.
I'm going to go with most likely not, but it would probably destroy your hero status if you found that.
I mean, honestly, no. Because I believe that all people are inherently evil.
No, okay. Okay, so you're like, if I found out that it was this way, it would confirm my confirmation bias that all people are evil.
Yeah. So I already expect everybody to already disappoint me. So when they do, I'm like, oh, that fucking sucks. Like when I found out Michael Jackson molests little boys, I'm like,
okay, hold up.
no.
I got a great story for Michael Jackson. So I was dating a girl at the time that Michael Jackson died, and it was just like, it wasn't anything serious. It was just some dates or whatever. And I was going to college with her, and we were having a party at the house I was living at, and she brings over her friend, and we're having this party around the table, and all of a sudden, we find out Michael Jackson dies, and so she goes, and she was already drunk, like she was drunk, and like ready to have emotional breakdowns, drunk.
Oh, that's so funny.
So she sat at the stereo and played Michael Jackson songs all night long, and I was over there like the whole time, like, he rapes kids, right? And she's like, he was a good person. I'm like,
he wasn't.
You know that like this dude was like, diddly diddly, like, I mean, really? And you're gonna sit here and you're gonna play Michael Jackson when we're all like, yeah, dude used to diddle kids, and I don't believe it. I don't believe it. He was the greatest of all time. And so we just said, fuck it, whatever.
I was in my mom's nail salon when we found out Michael Jackson died, and it came on the radio.
You actually, yeah, okay.
Yeah, I remember. I was in my mom's nail salon. She was working, and it was like right as it happened. And so we were listening to the radio, and they came on the radio and goes, Michael Jackson's dead. And we're like, what? Finally? Because, my mom, pop culture is us, and we are it, and, well, not really anymore. We had a weird childhood where my mom was like, we don't watch cable, and you need to read and be well-educated and well-rounded, but, like, we love pop culture and being popular and doing all this good stuff. But we're rebels. We're rebels. We don't follow trends, we start them. I don't understand. Michael Jackson died, and I was like, okay, cool. I cried a little bit.
What are you going to do when we find out that it's just all slavery and it's all run by satanic pedophile worshipping sycophants that allow this to happen?
We saved Britney.
At least there's that. But I mean,
God. I don't know what's going to happen once the population wakes up
when
to
they
the trap.
wake up to it. Like when I'm saying, like when all at one time, because I mean, you have to imagine that back in the day when it was the Republican Party, Abraham Lincoln, new Civil War. Like you'd have to imagine there were people back in the day that said that a third party vote would never win.
Well, the Republican Party was the third party vote.
That's what I'm saying. So that's why it makes it even more retarded for a Republican Trumpophile to say
So you gotta look back into history leading up to the Civil War and this actual social civil
I'm pretty sure the Democrat Party was the third party too.
They all were. All of the parties were third parties because our founding fathers didn't want us to have actual major political parties. It should look more like the British parliamentarian party system, where there's a whole bunch of little parties all fighting with each other on the parliamentarian floor. I just like parliamentary procedure, though.
So they fought Britain to install a British form of government?
Eventually, yes, because they gave us too much freedom, apparently. No, that's why they set up the Constitution and everything the way it was, because they knew that humans would progress to a tyrannical government again because it's human nature. This is a cycle, and they knew that. They saw that, and that's why they set us up the way they did, because they knew we'd come to this point again.
Ooh, Mercedes brings up the cycle of slavery and civilization. Holy shit.
It's almost like this has been happening. We didn't start the fire.
No, we just got thrown in it.
We did. And now we gotta take that little fire and we gotta remove it from the hands of the pedophiles and take it back and go, it's okay, fire. We're gonna feed you nice, yummy fire things that won't hurt our environment instead of the bodies of children. Thank you.
This is why you should vote Mercedes 2020. We're gonna remove the power from the pedophiles and return it to its natural state of, elemental being.
Okay, yeah, that was really brain nuggety.
No. It's a very much an appropriate Thursday morning thought. It's a slow news day. I mean, I always feel bad when I say it's a slow news day. Well, yeah, I mean, right now people are being murdered and raped and pillaged by a government, and I'm like, slow news day. People's rights are being violated. Not much to talk about today. So let's just talk about the satanic pedophile cult running this government. But don't worry, your boy Trump, I'm sure, is the reason why the swamp is draining. It's like, I'm still waiting. Like, there's a challenge. Like, today is the challenge to find the biggest Trumpophile and put them on my screen. Like, I
might have just found the biggest Biden file, though.
Okay, fine. Okay, if you can find a kid sniffer supporter that wants to, come on. I'm just saying, let's find.
I'm just gonna post your live link on my page.
Yeah, I encourage it. I want to bring on somebody that's going to defend the fucking government. Like, I need that today. I need to have it. Me and somebody that wants to discuss keeping the government and their favorite part of the government and why their part of the government's the good part of the government. And I need to see their cognitive reactions to the words that I'm going to say, so that way I can gauge its effectiveness. And I do want to hear from them. I do want to hear why. And again, if I'll even let them push a website. You want to come on here and talk about your support for the pedophile Joe Biden? You want to come on here and talk about your support for the pedophile Donald Trump? You want to come on here and you want to talk about, how your boy is the best thing since sliced bread? Let's do it. You know, like, bring it on. Like, you should be able to defend your boy Trump. Like, listen, I'm defending my Joe girl. My girl Joe. I'm defending my Joe girl. I'm defending my girl Joe. Rep your boy Trump. Rep your boy Biden. Let's do this thing. It's an open challenge to any Trumpophile, any pedocrat. You can come on this broadcast, figuratively speaking, and you can join the conversation and defend it, but you won't because you just don't know how. You don't know how.
Would you like to see a video about systematic racism that's about 4 minutes long?
Sure, Mercedes. If you want to play a systematic racism video for 4 minutes, well, I hope and pray that a Trumpophile or pedocrat joins us. Sure, why not? Just go ahead and share your screen or send me a link. Your choice.
I'll share my screen. It's already up because I put this on my page already once today. Because
I was hoping.
Let's kill some time.
All right. Oh, man, I can hear.
This is Jamal. Jamal is a boy who lives in a poor neighborhood. He has a friend named Kevin who lives in a wealthy neighborhood. All of Jamal's neighbors are African American, and all of Kevin's neighbors are white. Because Jamal's school district is mostly funded by property taxes, his school is not very well funded. His classrooms are overcrowded, his teachers are underpaid, and he doesn't have access to high-quality tutors or extracurricular activities. Kevin's school district is also funded by property taxes, so his school is very well funded. His classrooms are never crowded, his teachers are very well paid, and he has access to high-quality tutors and lots of extracurricular activities. Kevin and Jamal live only a few streets away from each other. So how come they're growing up in such different worlds with such different opportunities for success? The answer has to do with America's history of systemic racism. To understand it better, let's look at what life was like for Kevin and Jamal's grandparents. Decades after the Civil War, many government agencies started to draw maps dividing cities into sections that were either desirable or undesirable for investment. This practice was called redlining, and it usually blocked off entire black neighborhoods from access to private and public investment. Banks and insurance companies used these maps for decades to deny black people loans and other services based purely on race. Historically speaking, owning a home and getting a college education is the easiest way for an American family to build wealth. But when Jamal's grandparents wanted to buy a house, the banks refused because they lived in a neighborhood that was redlined. So Jamal's grandparents were not able to buy a home, and because colleges could prevent.
Let's talk about this, shall we? While you're doing it.
No. Keep playing.
Keep playing. Isn't it entertaining?
I want to hear this.
Prevent them from attending through legal segregation, their options for higher education were really scarce. Kevin's grandparents, on the other hand, got a low-interest loan to buy their first house and got accepted into a handful of top universities, which traditionally only accepted white students. This opened up a wealth of opportunities that they were able to pass on to their kids and grandkids. Even as late as the 1980s, an investigation into the Atlanta real estate market showed that banks were more willing to lend to low-income white families than to middle or upper-income African-American families. As a result, today, for every $100 of wealth held by a white family, black families have $5.04. A 2017 study confirms that redlining is still affecting home values in major cities like Chicago today. This explains how Kevin and Jamal inherited vastly different circumstances. Unfortunately, the story doesn't end there. A big part of systemic racism is implicit bias. These are prejudices in society that people are not aware that they have. Let's go back to Kevin and Jamal. Against all odds, Jamal manages to...
What?
Go back.
Yeah, did you see what they said right
Yeah,
here?
I want to see. I want to see this real quick.
Yeah, watch. Ready? White people can't dance. Women are emotional. Black people are lazy. Asians are good at math, and Hispanics love tacos. But this is true.
But hold on. There's one in here that's not racist,
Which one?
but it does have a bias. It's implicit bias. But
Yeah.
women are emotional. That's a fact. I don't
That is a
understand.
fact. And so is this one.
And Hispanics do love tacos, and Asians statistically are better at math. And I am white, and I promise you I can't dance. But
There you go.
But
Implicit.
why is the other one is lazy?
black people are lazy. It's the same thing as Mexicans are lazy. Instead of saying black people,
No, 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 no.
this is
All the
gonna-
other four are like, yeah, okay, like Hispanics like tacos. All right, white people can't. Ah, women are emotional. Asians, okay, they're good at math. But then
Well-
blacks are lazy. That within itself is.
So, what would be more racist in these? Let's switch the black people and
No,
the
this
Hispanics. Let's
no,
say-
no. This isn't about racism on this screen. This is about bias, implicit
Yeah.
bias.
Yeah, usually you hear Mexicans are lazy. That's
Then-
usually what you hear.
No, this one says black people are lazy.
Well,
You
yeah,
got-
this one does, but usually when I hear implicit bias, it's Mexicans are lazy and black people like chicken. So
Or-
really, what they did is they switched black people and Hispanics this time.
right. All right.
but
well,
it's still bias. It doesn't
well,
matter
I-
if you say white people love crackers.
So
That's
we're-
still bias.
So we'll finish out the remainder of this video, Mercedes, and then I want you to explain why we're bringing up systemic racism after this.
Oh yeah, okay, yeah, we'll get to that. It's
Sounds
fun.
good.
Okay.
Sounds good.
Let's go back to Kevin and Jamal. Against all odds, Jamal manages to be the only student from his high school to get accepted into a great university, the same one that Kevin and his high school friends are attending. But after Kevin and Jamal both graduate, Jamal notices that his resume isn't drawing as much interest as Kevin's, even though they graduated from the same program with the exact same GPA. Unfortunately for Jamal, studies show that resumes with white-sounding names get twice as many callbacks as identical resumes with black-sounding names. Implicit bias is one of the reasons why the black unemployment rate is twice the rate of white unemployment, even among college graduates today. You can see evidence of systemic racism in every area of life. The disparities in family wealth, incarceration rates, political representation, and education are all examples of systemic racism. Unfortunately, the biggest challenge with systemic racism is that there's no single person or entity responsible for it, which makes it very hard to solve. So what can you do? The first thing you can do is work towards becoming more aware of your own implicit biases. What are some prejudices that you might hold that you're not aware of? Second, let's acknowledge that the consequences of slavery and Jim Crow laws are still affecting access to opportunity today. As a result, we should support systemic changes that create more equal opportunities for everyone. Increasing public school funding and making it independent from property taxes would be a great start, so that poor and wealthy districts can receive equal access to resources. Systemic problems require systemic solutions. Luckily, we're all part of the system, which means that we all have a role to play in making it better. Peace.
So
We're all in the system.
now you know why I shared it.
We're all in the system. Yeah, not by my
We're
consent.
all in this. Yeah, exactly. But that's to our conversation the other day when we were talking about all of the inadequacies that is systematic because of the government. And I found this video and it broke it down. And then the ending is a nice, warm, we can do this if we do it together feeling. And it promotes pretty libertarian views, if you ask me.
How was that libertarian?
Well, the end part of reform your systems and break the
No,
system.
no. If it was libertarian, that picture of the government, the money train wouldn't be coming from there. In
You're
fact,
right. It would be other people up here. But what I mean is, not everybody is in our own brain thought. We got to go back a little bit and hold their hands and give them carrots and lead them to freedom because people don't like to change.
Back in the day,
Okay,
Slave.
Grandma.
slaves used to fight for their slave owners proudly in the South.
Yeah.
Flown the battle flag of the Confederacy. Were promised their freedom if they just fought for their Confederate slave owner. And here's Mercedes in 2020 saying we have to give them the carrot of freedom. So I go back to my name is CJ Abernathy. I've been saying we're slaves for my entire life. And I think Mercedes inadvertently proved me correct. So
There you go.
thank you.
You're welcome. Since nobody else wants to call in and do it, I'll just do it for us.
Well, here, why don't you pretend to vote for like you're a Donald Trump supporter then?
Okay.
Hi, my name's CJ. I'm voting for Joe Jorgensen. Who are you voting for?
Donald Trump.
Why?
Because he's America and he wants to make America great again.
Donald Trump most likely had sexual encounters with minors.
Show me the papers. Show me the document. Show me the proof.
Okay. Okay. All right. So it's just you're just waiting on the testimony of his accusers. Okay, got it. Don't worry. I'll make that available to you as soon as the testimony of his accusers are made public, which is what they're battling. It's not. You really think they're battling about tax returns in these courts? No, it's Trump's being accused of being a John to a pedophile trafficking network. And then again, as G. Lee has said, their excuse is that he was an informant.
Oh yeah. So Donald Trump is trying to make America great again by infiltrating the duopoly and bringing us to the salvation land of making America great again by women being in the kitchen where they belong, raising the family while men go out and provide for their families.
And that's why you're voting for him?
And that's why I'm voting for him.
Does it make you feel better arguing for the devil? I mean, I can't make you do it that long.
God, I wish I had legal drugs. And Mama Joe will give us that.
Actually, for those of you that are wanting freedom, I ask you this question. What are your thoughts on recreational nuclear warheads?
Are they big warheads or little warheads?
As much as you can afford warheads.
Unregulated warheads.
Of course. Why would we regulate warheads? Any gun law or any law against your Second Amendment right is an infringement.
If the government has it, I believe we should have it.
All right, so I want a nuclear warhead.
Then you can have nuclear warheads.
All right.
Now, but I don't think the government should have nuclear warheads either.
Well, but then again, how are you going to make a government not have nuclear warheads?
Take all the nuclear warheads away from the children. The children should not have knives. The kids have knives. And they like to run around with them.
I don't know. I honestly, the more I think about recreational nuclear warheads, I think that it's a great idea. I mean, honestly, I don't like the government. In fact, I would prefer that the people have recreational nuclear warheads and the government doesn't.
I mean, that would definitely make them not do what they're doing now.
Well, if I could just be like, hey, farmer, I can set this nuclear bomb to just destroy your property. You know, like, and if you violate the NAP and the constitutional rights of the citizens, we'll just wipe you off the map. You know, well, but then the question becomes, well, CJ, there's more effective means than using nuclear warfare against the government. And it's like, can't I get creative? I mean, really, I want to just get creative with how we abolish the government. And if I want to do it with recreational nuclear warheads, why can't we do it? You want to all do it through peace, love, hold hands, and sing Kumbaya in the streets while protesters get hit in the freeways when it's like, go burn down your fucking Capitol buildings, you fucking idiots.
So you want to hear a historical story of the area in which I live in? Okay, it involves burning down the courthouse.
Okay, I'll allow it.
So this one time, back when Nebraska was still a new baby state, I live in the area of which John Brown used to frolic because he's an abolitionist, and this was where Bloody Kansas went down, as the Nebraska-Kansas border. And that's where my family chose to homestead. So when I lived in Minden, I lived outside of Minden in the country because that's farm things. And we were learning about our area's history because we have the Oregon Trail and pioneers and all that cool history stuff that doesn't happen anywhere but this area and other down the road. Anyway, so we're learning about how the railroad was coming through Nebraska. And if you don't know anything about the railroad was given money by the government to build a railroad track from the west coast to the east coast so that settlers could get there faster because Nebraska's a really big state and the mountains are treacherous and people die. And they didn't want people to die, they wanted people to settle. Because, they spent a lot of time cleaning out this area. Anyway, we'll get to that later. So they're building
for you.
Not today. That's a Friday talk. So they came through with a railroad, and the railroad would buy a mile north of the tracks and south of the tracks, and then build these little railroad towns up along the way, if there wasn't a town there. So Kearney was already there. The railroad came through and put a station there. Well, there were other railroad tracks besides the Union Pacific because the government made it a race for these railroad tracks. Whoever got completely across the country first won. Union Pacific won. But BNSF and other railroad companies existed. So another railroad company was going to the south of Union Pacific because it's still flat enough that they could do the same route. And they were going through Kearney County. And at the time, Lowell, Nebraska was the county seat of Kearney County. But the railroad built the depot in Minden. So because that's where the mail came through, Minden, the people of Minden said, we want to be the county seat. And the people of Lowell said, no, we're the county seat. This is where the courthouse is. You can't have it. So a group of people from Minden went to Lowell in the middle of the night and stole all of the court documents and burnt it down.
And I'm proud to be an American.
And these is my ancestors. So now you know why I'm running for libertarian, because I can't go burn down the courthouse.
Yeah, you can't use the aggression.
You can't do that anymore.
Yeah, joining the Libertarian Party is like putting handcuffs on an anarchist and saying you can't burn down shit.
As an anarchist, being libertarian makes me a better person. I'm just full stop.
You're more towards the ANCOM than you are the ANCAP, though, Mercedes.
I definitely, yeah.
You're like I'll dabble in that communism a little bit.
It's more like I believe in helping your neighbor out.
What's mine is yours.
No. More like I see a need. I see that my neighbor needs something, and so I voluntarily go over with a loaf of bread or soup. Do you want some soup, child?
You're gonna get. You ever heard that song from All Dogs Go to Heaven?
Haven't actually ever seen that movie.
Oh, whether you're the boss or someone's pet.
Yeah,
the more you give, the more you're gonna get.
The only thing that I know about animals and communism is Animal Farm. And then the big takeaway from that is we're all equal, but some of us are more equal than others.
Yes, and under communism, people line up for the bread. Under capitalism, the bread lines up for people.
I mean, you know what? I just want to live in a mountain, on a bunch of land, and just live off the land and just never see anybody ever again.
I mean, that's kind of the American dream, to be left alone in your peace, live your life, and then
we were left alone here in our sod houses
until government came in, and then hey, you know what? That district over there doesn't make as much money because there's systemic racism.
So, back to that video.
We have to charge you over here more money because they over there are not economically as good as you are.
You want to know something
because
fun, though?
Because we set up a government over here that takes, and it gives you the advantage because of the melatonin component of your skin.
So this one time in Nebraska, we set up our school system on property tax, and then
one time in band camp.
And then all the poor people live in urban cities and depend on our land to fund them. And we haven't fixed the system so that we wouldn't be dependent on each other like we are, because we are a socialist state.
Well, I mean, the Republicans and the Democrats are just the Socialist Party of America. They're the two caucuses for the Socialist Party of America.
Yeah.
They just fight over the ledger. That's about it.
And Nebraska is the unicameral. Because we don't have bias here. We don't have parties here.
Bullshit.
We have the unicameral. We're not supposed to be biased. We're supposed to be nonpartisan.
No, you're a Republican state with one district elector leaning Republican.
What?
Like, go look at the electoral college.
Oh, yeah, I saw that. But that's what I mean is the system was set up, and then it came in and was taken over by one side because it was Republican strong. Like, in Nebraska, you either vote red or blue, and everybody's red.
No. This is Mercedes. I fundamentally disagree with how this is being pushed forward.
No. That's what I hear in my state is we are Republicans. We've always been Republican. We will always vote Republican because that is who is in charge of our state, and that's how
all
we like
I heard
it.
You say is we're retarded. We've always been retarded.
Yeah, but that's who
stay retarded.
But that's who controls my state because of the unicameral and because Nebraskans like the good life and don't like to fight and don't have boundaries. And then Pete Ricketts comes in with his billionaire cub money and takes over the freaking state, and then.
Right, and that's what the government does. So
I know. And now this little Nebraskan girl isn't allowed to go burn down the courthouse anymore. She's got to go into government and change from within and be all peaceful with puppies and rainbows and butterflies.
No, actually you don't. You can lead a revolution, and it would. But again, my thought is that this is all set up by the two parties to say you get this state, we get that state, and every once in a while we'll swing them back either way.
That's exactly
But-
what's happening,
but
and that
in
happened
long-
in Nebraska.
But here's the thing: the majority of this country doesn't vote.
Yep.
And there's many libertarians that have made this point that there's no quorum of American voters, especially when you don't. Yeah, okay.
Your vote matters.
No, your vote is irrelevant in the grand scheme of things. But what you fight for is completely relevant. Now, my thought is again, I hate being like, vote for me, it's irrelevant. But it's it's the truth. I live in a district where they listen, the guys that are sitting there at the gas station right now having their morning coffee, circle jerking for Trump, as I call it. It's like instead of, like bikers for Trump, it's circle jerking for Trump, or any of these other groups for Trump. It's just giant circle jerk echo chambers. And again, I'm really disappointed that I can talk all this shit about Trumpophiles and pedocrats, and they are fucking crickets. And what they're probably doing is going, oh, well, CJ's just a piece of shit. I don't have to talk to him.
The only thing it's doing is hurting my voting chances in my district. That nobody actually is going to watch this, but it's fine because.
Well, listen, Mercedes, and that's the other thing is whether I always say this, whether two people are watching or nobody's watching, I'm saying the same thing. I'm gonna always be consistent with my messaging. And listen,
Same.
and I live in the reddest district in South Dakota. I'm telling you right now, I'll be lucky to get 100 votes if I'm lucky. But again,
At what point does it take for them to wake up?
Honestly, I would like to think that, my opponents, they only got 12% of the vote combined. And so, combined in their primaries, only 12% of the district voted in their primary. So, I'm assuming that the other 80, or 70, oh, goddamn, I can't do math today, 88% of the district is doesn't care about politics, or they just think that it's on autopilot for Trump. But if just 25% of this district got all woke and voted for me because they're like, fuck the Republicans, there's no Democrat, what's this libertarian ticket here, check that second option to say fuck this, and I could win it just based off of enough people saying fuck this and a low voter turnout for.
And that's what I mean is how do we get people to come out and vote? Because what I'm running into here is that I'm going to use this kids my age.
Oh man, you're gonna be what, 30 in a month, you said?
I don't want to talk about it. So kids my age feel disenfranchised still.
Good one.
Well, that's a Vermin Supreme direct line now.
Actually, I was watching Miko Hayes and Vermin Supreme last night. I was falling asleep to the sweet sounds of Vermin Supreme.
I love Vermin Supreme so much. So I am quite fortunate in who I hang out with at National Online now. Because, I don't know how, but I was, accepted into the beautiful Vermin Supreme family. Because I asked Vermin, full stop, rewind. I found Vermin when I was in high school on YouTube.
All right,
Because
Mercedes.
that's where he lives, is on YouTube. It was the 2008 New Hampshire primary. And he was glitter bombing opponents and being completely crazy facetious. Have you ever seen that video?
No, I'm pretty sure at some point I have.
Oh my god. Find it. While I
All right, well, while you're finding this, Matt says he's at work, but he would love to talk to you about his biological father who lives in Elm Creek. Wonder if she knows.
Oh, what's his name? I want to know. I want all the deeds. I want you find me on Facebook. I want messages.
You can find Mercedes on Facebook there, Matt.
Yes, find me on Facebook and we will talk about this because Elm Creek is where the strip club is. No. Yes. No?
That took a left turn. You could have been like this great donut shop. There's an excellent gym.
There's a truck stop and a strip club.
But you're like, no, there's titties.
Okay. My friend might be a part owner of it, so
I'm just saying I'm dissecting where your brain went the first time you heard the name of the city it was.
But that's where the strip club is.
Right. You didn't go like, oh, that's where this historical monument's at.
No,
That's
like literally the only strip club in the 3rd district. That's
like
well, one of
apparently
them.
Elm Creek. If I was like, what do you know about Elm Creek, Nebraska? I'd be like, well, apparently it's known for its strip club.
There's titties, yo. They're not very.
Okay,
good.
I got a great conversation for you, Mercedes.
God.
I did this one to my buddy Chris. All right, so do you have what is your thoughts on baking the cake? Do you think a business should be required to bake a cake for somebody they don't fundamentally agree with for whatever reason? Do they have the right to refuse their services to people?
I believe that a business has the right to refuse service to anybody for any reason, even if it's crappy. But I don't believe the business is immune from backlash from making that decision. And as someone who hates capitalism but thinks like a capitalist, why would I not want to bake a cake for somebody just because I don't believe in what they believe in? I want their money. You're not a capitalist if you refuse to bake the cake.
Right. So, for example, do you believe that there should be certain discriminations in lines of work and certain discriminations for people when it comes to job opportunities?
There shouldn't be discriminations on anything. If you're qualified to do the job, you should be able to do the job.
All right. So you're walking down the same line.
Oh, I know. I know.
It's beautiful. So you like that strip club there, and it's known for its titties, right? And it's
not known for its titties. It's known to be the only strip club in the area. It has a monopoly.
Now, is it male dancers, female dancers?
The female dancers and sometimes male dancers.
Right. Okay. So if I'm going to patron of a strip club that I want there to be only women, because I'm a heterosexual man looking for a business that is going to cater to my desire of just seeing women naked, not men.
Okay.
Okay, so I'm looking for that business. That business has to be able to discriminate against an entire gender and will not hire them in positions.
If a business wants to set up a policy where they only employ a certain person because of the business that they're in, it's the same thing as men can't get pap smears, I think.
Well, I'm gonna tell you. Okay, hold on. That's a sidebar, side rail. But what again? Let's get back to it. So I walk into an all-female strip club, and I sit down, and I'm waiting for this blonde Barbie to come out of the curtain behind the curtain. And do I have the right to tell the owner, whoa? I want to see a big black Dawn right now. You should go hire an African-American man and pay him a good wage and bring him on the stage. Do I have the right to control that business?
No, you don't own the business.
No, I don't own the business. I can make a suggestion and they can take it under advisement, but then I can say, but you're discriminating against African-American stripper men.
But I'm not, because this is a female strip club, so you're trying to bully me into...
So at some point, discrimination is okay.
It's not discrimination.
It is 100%.
It would be, no, it would be discrimination if a big black man went in there and said, hey, I'm a professional stripper. I would like to work there. If a customer goes, I want a big black dick in my face, and we go, that's not on the menu, and they go, well, you should hire one, and you go, okay, if somebody comes in to apply, I will hire them. That's not discrimination.
Mercedes, an unjust or prejudicial treatment of different categories of people or things, especially on the grounds of race, age, or sex.
This is when you get into the you're selling human flesh part of this. This is a personal choice. And strip clubs are not actual employers, they're independent contractors. And the strippers are independently contracted. The freelancing sexual entrepreneurs are independently contracted in to dance. So this customer goes in and goes,
strip club doesn't hire on Asian strippers.
That's discrimination. If a customer goes in and says, I want big black dick, and you go, I don't have big black dick on the menu, if it comes up, I'll supply it for you, then you can have big black dick. I'm never
going to put big black dick on my stage because I don't hire big black dick.
that if a business owner says, I'm not going to hire Big Black Dick because I don't like Big Black Dick, that's discrimination. But if the owner goes, I don't hire Big Black Dick because this is a female strip club and Big Black Dick doesn't apply here, that's not what we offer.
Right, but again, so at some point there's a line where there's an acceptable degree of discrimination.
I can't. My brain hurts.
It's an acceptable degree of discrimination to say, well, you can't get a pap smear if you have no female genitalia.
It's not discrimination if you don't have the piece of science required to do the
Well,
treatment.
I want you to go back to the BSM community and or GSM community, excuse me.
Okay,
GSM.
but nobody in the GSM community is going to go to a gynecologist
That's not true.
pre-transition. Okay. If you don't scientifically have a vagina, you can't have a pap smear done because a pap smear is done on a vagina. If you transition and you have a vagina, then you can get a pap smear. You can't have a pap smear with a penis. You can't have a pap smear with a penis. It is scientifically impossible. You can go to a doctor that specializes in your equipment, but you can't scientifically have a pap smear done if you have a penis. You can't have a pap smear done.
A man is an adult male prior to adulthood. A male female is referred to as a boy. Like most other male mammals, a man's genome typically inherits an X chromosome from his mother and a Y chromosome from his father.
Yes.
Would you like me to tell you what a girl is,
I
Mercedes?
already know what a girl is. I am a girl.
Now, I didn't want to insult you there for
I
that.
have a vagina. I get pap smears.
Right, but if you discriminate against somebody who has a penis, you're discriminating them based on their sex.
Okay, if you have a penis, it's not discrimination to tell you you can't have a medical procedure that you physically cannot have done. You cannot have a pap smear. It physically cannot be done to you.
Right,
It's not
because
discrimination.
You're not the gender.
You're a man,
required.
and some
Ooh,
things.
Be careful.
I'm a feminist, and I will eat you for breakfast.
Be
Some
careful,
things
baby.
cannot be done by the opposite sex, like men cannot give birth. I don't care what you say. If you don't have a
Oh,
uterus,
you're
you
pissing
cannot
off
give
the-
birth.
You're pissing off the GSM community.
No, I'm
there.
not. I have this
Yeah.
conversation with them quite
No,
frequently.
No, because women can be men and men can be women. and-
As a female welder, let me tell you, men can't have pap smears. And the fact that I have to have this conversation is
Right.
concerning, and I'm not pissing anybody off if it's
So,
scientific
Mercedes,
facts.
if I dress like a woman and go
If
to
you
a guy,
self-identify as a woman and you go to a gynecologist to get your nether regions checked out, they're going to look at you and go, you're in the wrong spot, go to a different doctor.
well, what doctor would you suggest?
A proctologist.
What is a proctologist?
It takes care of your nether regions if you're a man.
Oh, wait, the last part. If you're a
If
what?
you're a man, I can't
If
go
I
to a
identify
if
as
I
a what?
identify as a man and I go into a proctologist and I go, hey, I need to see my prostate doctor, they're gonna look at me and go, you don't have a fucking prostate. Well, I have a penis. Well, you don't have a prostate. That's a physical organ that's
dare
only
you-
in men.
how-
It's a physical.
But you just said you identify as a man.
I doesn't mean I have a prostate.
But what
I
makes
don't have a
man
prostate.
man?
I don't have a prostate. That's a physical fact I can't change. I will never have a prostate. Just like my trans friend will never have a uterus, and she cries to me about not being able to have kids. It's a choice you make. Just because you want to be a woman doesn't mean you're physically a woman. You don't have a uterus. You're a woman because you say we accept it. You're a woman. You have estrogen. You have boobs. You have a vagina. You don't have a vagina. Whatever. Doesn't change that you don't have a uterus and you don't need that medical service. And people who
Mercedes.
go through transitions know that.
Yes, I know that there are trans people out there that are like, this is such a stupid conversation because I don't go to get a pap smear when I have
And
a
I will.
ghibli bits of a man down there. But what I'm saying is that you hear what you're saying, right?
It's not discrimination.
And
If you come in to a gynecologist and say, I want you to
100% discrimination to say you don't have a dick and balls. We don't service people unless you have a dick and balls. or if you need to go to see somebody who can test out your woohoo, well then that's down the road over here at the place where they test out woohoos. And guess what? That is an acceptable medical form of discrimination. Mercedes, you don't give cancer treatments to burn victims. There's a medical discrimination there that's acceptable.
It's not discrimination if it's not medically, like, oh my god. Oh my god, discrimination is when you look at somebody like you. Okay, so someone like you.
Somebody like me.
Someone like you. Because we are clearly different. Because I have a vagina and you have a penis.
Allegedly.
You've created offspring that you can't even. We have created offspring. We don't get to do that unless we go through a sexual transition.
It's the internet, Mercedes, allegedly.
Do I need to flash my vagina?
No, I'll be censored on YouTube and Twitter and Facebook and all that, and I'll be taken down.
Push me towards the sexual edge. I used to do sex work, okay?
Okay, well, again, so there's some level we agree that there is a certain discrimination that's allowed, and it's informed discrimination. It's informed, meaning, hey, I'm a doctor, I work on dicks, you don't have a dick, I'm not going to be able to work on you.
It's science. Science doesn't discriminate. It's facts. Discrimination involves feelings.
Whoa, gosh, oh God.
Your feelings have no power here, Snowflake. Sorry.
God, no, Mercedes, you're making a fundamental error right now. You're making my arguments for me, but thinking you're making your arguments.
I'm not.
Yeah, you are, Mercedes.
I'm telling you that this is stupid, and that the fact that we have to debate over what you have in your pants is none of our business anyway.
That I agree with, but what I'm saying is that the bigger overall picture and the arcing. Okay, well, because this thought triggered with me with the video you showed about systemic racism, and I go, okay, so they're saying that the white neighborhood has more money and it's funded differently and it's this, that, and the other, and they put up all the flashy, triggers.
White people can't dance.
Yeah, Asians are good at math, blacks are lazy.
Asians can't drive.
You put all this on the screen, and it makes me go, you could do this for any topic. Yep. Where people feel discriminated against. But here's the real question. How do you actually solve it? I see the big money train from government, and government creates these problems, and I go, abolish the government, make your community stronger. That's what it should be. Instead, people are like, no, let's give more power to the government. And it's like, well, what do you think it does? It inherently creates a
vacuum, a power vacuum in which other people...
It opens the door for the discrimination, which is why I'm sitting here going, like, some level of accepted discrimination is there. And I say this because I believe that the government discriminates, but it's acceptable in their mind. Or they wouldn't have already done it. There wouldn't be systemic problems.
They do it so that they can control us.
Well, again, our words today, obsequious, subservient, slave,
I don't want to breed children for the rest of my life and be forced to do it. That's all I mean.
Well, I don't know. Under communism, when you go down that slippery path.
Just because I have the means of production doesn't mean I want to be a breeder, okay?
Well, Mercedes, actually, the government wants you to have children so they can create more death slaves. Yeah.
Oh, do they? Oh, yeah. Our government is freaking out right now because our population, the replacement population or whatever, because you're supposed to make as many kids or more kids as the generation prior.
Every couple has to make 2 just to maintain their.
Yeah, and
you have to replace yourself just to keep the status quo.
Yes, and that's where we're at. Where our generation, because I include you in this, because your generation's included in this. I'm just
5 years older than you, Mercedes. Little under 5 years.
Oh, I thought you were like 80.
I feel 80.
So our generation has seen the shit show that is the world, and we chose not to
replace ourselves.
Yes, or
not be the equity tax slaves to the social security
system. So since we took that control of reproduction back, you see what they're trying to do in the government. They're trying to make it so women have to reproduce.
Yeah, welcome to the thing called government. Again,
Yeah.
if you keep advocating for somebody to beat you and they keep beating you, don't ask why you keep getting beaten. Like
Let's have some Vermin Supreme drop glitter bombs. I gotta find it though.
you got
Yeah,
sidebar.
we
It's
were-
a Y chromosome conversation.
Yeah, you got me into that heated conversation of God damn it, CJ.
I'm good at doing that, man. Imagine what it would happen to a Trumpophile if they came on here.
Wouldn't have been able to keep their composure.
What's that?
What?
The first time they'd hear me call him a pedophile and they'd be like fucking freaking out.
He is a pedophile.
Yeah, but I say this, Mercedes, and they would freak out. That's why I'm saying, like, at some point we have to like break it gently to them. Like, have you been supporting Donald J. Trump obsequiously your entire existence since Donald Trump declared in 2015 that he was going to, quote, make America great again? Well, we got news for you. He likes to have sex with minors, and that's gonna blow their fucking minds, and they'll be like, "No, DJ, no, he likes big women and big old." You're like, "No, he likes himself an alpha woman." Like, no.
Okay. Are you ready?
Are you ready? Yeah.
Are you ready for some Vermin Supreme? Okay, so Vermin
Okay,
Supreme.
hey, hold on. I want you to give an introduction.
I am. I'm doing it right now.
Nobody knows who Vermin Supreme is.
So Vermin Supreme was a presidential nominee candidate for the Libertarian Party of Nebraska. He is a New Hampshire politician. He's a comedian. He explains and uses satire to explain politics, and he is he's really cool. So, ladies and gentlemen, may I introduce you to Mr. Vermin Supreme.
Vermin Supreme.
Thank you. Gingivitis has been eroding the gum line of this great nation long enough and must be stopped. For too long, this country has been suffering a great moral and oral decay in spirit and in incisors. A country's future depends on its ability to bite back. We can no longer be a nation indentured. Our very salivation is at stake. Together, we must brace ourselves. As we cross over to the bridge work, into the 23rd century, let us bite the bullet and together make America a sea of shining smiles from sea to shiny sea. Now, friends, some people will tell you that this mandatory toothbrushing law is about the secret dental police kicking down your door at 3 a.m. to make sure you've brushed. Friends, it is not. Some will mention the dental re-education centers or the preventative dental maintenance detention facilities. It's about none of these things. It's not about the government-issued toothpaste containing an addictive yet harmless substance. No, friends, it is not even about DNA gene splicing to create a race of winged monkeys to act as tooth fairies. Friends, what this mandatory toothbrushing law is really about is strong teeth for a strong America. My name is Vermin Supreme. I am a friendly fascist. I am a tyrant that you should trust, and you should let me run your life because I do know what is best for you. Yes, I am a politician. I will promise you anything your little electorate heart desires because you are my constituents. You are the informed voting public, and because I have no intention of keeping any promise that I make. Vote early, vote often. Remember, a vote for Vermin Supreme is a vote completely thrown away. I would like to take this moment to acknowledge my mother, who is in the audience here today. Please stand up, Mother. Please stand up. If you can stand up, please stand up. She's going to try and stand up so you can acknowledge her. This is my mother. There we go. And 5 years ago this April, I gave her a kidney. My challenge to you people, everybody on the stage and everybody in the audience, give up a kidney.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Supreme.
Mr. Supreme, welcome back.
Thank you, sir.
Like some of the other candidates, including former Governor Romney, this is not your, shall we say, first rodeo.
Let us say that.
This is not the first time you have run for president in the
Correct.
New Hampshire primary. President Romney has been accused, and I'm not taking a position one way or the other, of taking different positions on different issues. I'm asking you right now, do you still stand by your pledge made in 2008 to provide a pony for every American?
Yes, I do, sir. Free ponies for all Americans, one of the overlooked issues in America today. My Free Pony platform is, of course, a jobs creation program. It will create lots and lots of jobs once we switch over to a pony-based economy. We'll also lower our dependence on foreign oil. We'll also be able to turn all that pony poop into methane gas and wonderful compost, so we'll be able to up our soil that is being depleted by agrochemicals, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And of course, the important thing to realize is that it is a federal pony identification program where you will need your pony with you at all times. Thank you very much.
Mr. Supreme, I wanted to follow up on Ambassador Shoemaker's question
Yes.
regarding the ponies.
Yes.
Is that the only government entitlement program that you support? What other entitlement programs are you for?
Just that one. That's enough. But in the vein of energy production, I'd also like to address my harnessing the awesome power of zombies for energy sources. It's not just to run away from anymore. No, we have giant turbines that we're working on, and we will have lots of zombies, and we'll just sort of dangle brains in front of them, and then they will turn the giant turbines, creating energy to lessen the dependence on foreign oil in America here today. Thank you.
Mr. Supreme, your 30-second closing statement, please.
My name is Vermin, my name is Vermin, Vermin Supreme. My name is Vermin, my name is Vermin, my name is Vermin, Vermin, Vermin Supreme. And you can vote, and you can vote, and you can vote for me for president if you want to. And my name is Vermin. And okay, thanks very much for coming out today. Oh, one more thing. Jesus told me to make Randall Terry gay with magic sprinkled up.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Supreme.
Oh, that's Vermin Supreme. So that's one of the first videos I ever got to see of him. And I was closer on the conservative side of political things when I found Mr. Supreme, not gonna lie, because I'm a rural Nebraskan girl. I like redneck things. So I found Vermin, and he said these things on the TV, and I looked at him, and I was like, this motherfucker isn't even wrong. He's just making fun of all the other politicians.
So in South Dakota, Mercedes, I was called a satirical candidate.
Oh, did you show him Vermin?
And that is when I was introduced to Team Supreme, where they were like, hey, you like satire? Go check out Vermin Supreme. And they're, you know, I mean, in all honesty, I instantly connected to the idea of using humor to, you know, put my political views out there. I've wrote joke songs. I mean, I
You're
wrote
working on one.
I'm working on one called Everyone's a Little Bit is what I think I'm going to call it. So that way you can insert word here. You know, I've wrote songs. I've made jokes. I've gone live. I mean, I wrote a song one time when I played. It was so offensive. Facebook took me down for 30 days and could not pinpoint what in my actual song offended anybody and what actually I said that made it so that I was. I think the song was called "Fuck All You Idiots."
Okay, there you go.
Yeah, and it was an on-the-spot, off the top of my head rant while playing guitar to some incredible chord progression, and it just worked. And yeah, so
and they banned you for it.
30 days. 30 days. Yeah, and it was. I mean, off the top of my dome in live time, my Facebook shut down everything. Yeah.
So Mr. Vermin Supreme, the light of my political life, the one person that's kept me from completely going full. But I did. So during the pandemic, I invited Vermin to our state convention in February because nobody invited Vermin. They invited Joe and Hornberger and everybody else, but not Vermin. I'm like,
Vermin took 5th place in our polling here in South Dakota. He took 2nd place in my personal polling.
He took 3 at the national convention.
Yeah, he took 3rd in the national convention. He was my 2nd round vote. So, I mean, Vermin is a powerhouse, though, in the party, and I will never take his works from him. In fact, I would venture to guess I would love to interview him on here.
He is pretty busy because I'm still active
Oh
with Team
man,
Supreme and stuff.
yeah, no, I bet you with the Supreme Institute, you know.
Yeah, which
no,
also
no, all other things
actually,
are assumed. I'm sorry.
Hold on.
Vermin Supreme Institute.
Actually, can you pull that up? I haven't pulled it up yet myself.
No, I don't have it, but I mean, I could go Vermin Supreme Institute. And it's got the Facebook page for a nonprofit organization.
We have a website now.
Oh, there's a website?
There it is. I found it. No, that's a handle.
Yeah, it is verminsupremeinstitute.com. I've got it. And it just starts off like this.
Yes. Now, if you go investigate, you'll find me on the website, I believe.
Oh, man. So what you're saying is we can do what? Volunteers? Council?
Politics, I think.
Politics?
Or education. I'm not sure. That donation page. Because I gave them a candidate biography. Go to education, yeah. And now if you go down over each picture on each page, it shows up the other pop-ups. See, there you go. So I don't know if we're up on it yet. I have not played at all on the website. I was on the launch party. I gave him my biography, and then I got sick and I died a little bit.
Yeah, I'd say they probably haven't got that one under construction yet.
I don't know.
But either way, the is assumed in it. It's just Vermin Supreme Institute.
Yeah. So what we're gonna do with it though is we have a group of people, including myself, and we're gonna do like educational pieces and down ballot candidate help, like lateral candidate help, because Vermin is an anarchist. Vermin is a rainbow person. He is part of the Rainbow Family. If you don't know what the Rainbow Family is, they're basically hippies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love hippies.
But what they do is the Rainbow Family have a yearly gathering. It's called the Rainbow Gathering, and they do it in like a national forest. National land has to be on national land. And a whole bunch of hippies get together in the forest and build a community.
Do they do ayahuasca and shrooms and shit? Because then I'd probably want
The only drug not allowed is alcohol.
Oh wow, that's quite hypocritical of drug users.
Well, they leave the alcohol.
Wait. So some form of discrimination is acceptable, Mercedes.
So they leave it at the front gate, and the people at the front gate get to drink it, basically, because they don't allow it in the campgrounds because it causes too much problems.
Yeah. So I could imagine, but again, a little form of discrimination never hurt anybody. Apparently, Mercedes.
You cannot tolerate intolerance. You must be intolerant of intolerance.
Right, and I'm intolerant of your guys' intolerance towards alcohol.
I don't care. Drink whatever.
Yeah. All right, everybody. VoteMercedes.com is her website.
It's time to go. You got to go to Adam versus the Man.
I have to go to Adam versus the Man. But before I go, I want to check 88 days, 14 hours, 15 hours kind of, until we decide the fate of the world. Mercedes is running for District 37 out there in Nebraska. So, again, go help her out and support her on her run.
Yeah, I actually need money now. I don't like that fact, but I'm at the fundraising part for real.
Yeah, well, you know what? At the end of the day, you got to be out there pushing your hustle there, Mercedes.
And everything costs money because we live in a capitalistic society.
Are you
starting
your own podcast, Mercedes?
I am. So I finally bit the bullet, and I got my own streaming stuff set up finally. When we get off of this, I'm going to get more coffee and then probably go to that because I've been streaming our state legislature. There's only like 5 more days. And it's been really crazy.
I would suggest you do it the way I did it. Use the platform and stream it and talk about it in live time. Save yourself the headache.
And that's what I've been kind of doing. I did it the first day as a test, and then I involuntarily lost consciousness yesterday.
Oh, yeah.
So I have had to kind of step back from some stuff. I realized I've maybe been a little bit too busy.
Dang. Dang. All right. Well, that's about all the time we've got for this.
Yeah, I'll see you guys later.
Ladies, we'll see you later. Thanks for joining as always. You guys, always a pleasure. Again, if you're a Trumpophile or a pedocrat, please, if you made it all the way through to this broadcast, and please join me in the future and explain to me your cognitive dissonance. I need it. I need it so bad. I need it more than I can than I can express and you can imagine. So with that being said, have a great day or don't. The choice is always yours.